People always talk about the peace and quiet of the countryside, the slow life, the fresh air. But what they don't mention is the silence, the kind that presses on your chest, the kind where every creak, every scratch, every whisper feels wrong. My name is Darren, and this is the story of how I inherited my grandfather's home and how I came face to face with something that should never have been disturbed. I thought I was just going to fix up an old house, but what I found there, it changed everything. I believed about reality, about evil. This is the true story of what happened in the house. I should have never stepped foot in the house with something living in the walls. My grandfather, Raymond Crowder, died in early spring. He'd lived alone in a farmhouse just outside of Pine Hollow, Kentucky. We weren't close. He was one of those old school types, stern, paranoid, always scribbling in notebooks and muttering to himself. Growing up, my mom never let us visit him, said he wasn't well, that he had episodes. But when he passed, I got a call from a lawyer. Turns out I was the sole heir to his estate, the house, the land, and everything in it. I was in SWAT doing great at the time. Lost my job, broke up with my girlfriend, and was barely scraping by. So I figured, why not? A sit head down, clean up the place, maybe sell it. Seemed like a lucky break. I had no idea what I was walking into. The house was old, really old. Sagging roof, cracked windows, the kind of place that felt tired just standing there. It sat on 10 acres of woods, with no neighbors in sight, no cell service either. Inside, it smelled like mildew and iron. The wallpaper was peeling. Dust covered everything. But what stuck out were the scratches, deep, jagged gouges on the walls and floors, like something had been clawing to get out or in. The strangest part, the basement door was sealed shut. Boarded up with thick wooden planks, nailed from the outside. Why would anyone do that? I asked the lawyer about it. He just shrugged, said Raymond had become unusual in his later years. Unusual doesn't begin to cover it. The first 2 nights were quiet, cold, but manageable. I slept on an old mattress in the upstairs bedroom. The electricity still worked. But I kept hearing noises, little things, creaks, thumps. Then came the scratching. It started on the 3rd night, faint, like mice. I figured it was rats, but it didn't stop. Every night, same time, around 3 a.m. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Sometimes it came from the walls, sometimes from under the floor, once from the ceiling. I set up my phone to record the sounds. In the morning, I played it back and heard something that made my blood run cold. Under the scratching, there was a voice, low, raspy, repeating one phrase over and over. Let me out. I started searching the house, looking for any clue about what was going on. In the upstairs closet, hidden beneath a loose floorboard, I found a box of notebooks, my grandfather's journals. Most of them were filled with ramblings, paranoia, drawings of symbols I didn't recognize. One entry stood out. It was dated July 19th, 1984. It's in the walls now. I sealed the basement, but it moves. It whispers. It knows my name. I should have never opened the floor. God forgive me. That same symbol. 3 intersecting circles kept appearing throughout the pages. I didn't know what it meant, but I knew I had to open that basement. It took me hours to pry off the boards. The nails were old but deep. When I finally opened the basement door, the smell hit me first. Rot, mold, and something else, something metallic. I went down with a flashlight. The basement was massive. Stone walls, dirt floor, and in the center, a large wooden box. like a crate, 6 feet long, covered in scratch marks. As I got closer, I realized the lid had been nailed shut from the inside. I stood there listening, and I swear I heard breathing, slow, shaky, as if something inside was waiting. I ran back upstairs, shut the door, reboarded it, and that night the scratching got louder. The next morning, I drove 10 miles to the nearest diner just to use their phone. I called the sheriff. They said they'd send someone out, but no one came. At the diner, an old man at the counter overheard me asking about the house. He pulled me aside. "You Raymond's boy?" he asked. I nodded. "He kept it locked up for a reason. There sits something under that house, something that was buried a long time ago. Back before they built the town, he knew he tried to contain it." I asked him what it was. "Not what. Who," he said. "You should leave tonight." That night, I dreamed of the basement, but I wasn't myself. I was my grandfather, younger. I saw him digging beneath the house, finding a hole, a pit, bones. A voice whispered to him, promised him things: knowledge, protection, power. He let it out. When I woke up, I was holding one of his journals, open to a page I hadn't seen before. It needs a host. It feeds on memory, on pain. I didn't remember opening the journal. The scratching turned to pounding. The entire house shook. I knew it wasn't rats. Wasn't my imagination. I went to the basement. This time, I opened the crate. It was empty. But the moment I lifted the lid, I felt something rush past me, cold, heavy, a shadow that moved without light. The whisper came again. This time, not from the crate, from inside my head. "You set me free." I passed out. I woke up in the woods, miles from the house. It was morning. I left Pine Hollow that day, never looked back. I heard a family bought the property a month later, a young couple with a baby. Sometimes, when I'm alone at night, I still hear scratching, not in the walls, in my mind. Whatever was in that house, it followed me, and now I think it's hungry again. If you made it this far, you're braver than most. But the story doesn't end here. Subscribe for more true horror tales that crawl under your skin, because the next one might be about you.